Hello, it's Marina from the Butterfly Effect, and this is a reading for Taurus for mid-January into mid-February. Odds on, I'm reading for a male here, but feel free to switch your genders because it isn't really gender specific. This is a new spread which is broken up into various departments, which might give a sort of broader view of what's going on in your life, or whoever you're watching for, rather than just the main stuff that comes out, which is all generally relationship related. I do have a specific section for business and achievements, in saying that you know, the relationship aspect of it may just invade every part of the reading, although it doesn't seem to in this case. So Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, mid-January to mid-February, and we're starting with your home department. Now this came out a little bit sideways, my Ace of Swords, sideways here. I sort of feel overall with what I've clarified this with that someone's having a crisis of conscience here. They seem very, it's almost like, should I stay or should I go? With the Ace of Swords, you know, it's almost also, should I be truthful or am I prepared to lie? I have the Faith card in reverse. Someone's losing faith in the situation here. The Discovery and Destiny also in reverse. I'll set this a little bit low. I sort of feel with my lace, the Moon's daughter here as well, that someone is just overall incredibly confused by the situation. They are losing faith in their home situation. They're not entirely sure where their destiny is anymore. And they're trying to work out a lot of riddles, but in the main, there is a crisis of conscience, because I am getting some a few cards that would nod to some guilt involved here. And with Lace, the Moon's daughter, this is very much about it is about illumination, trying to find your way out of the darkness, and you know, revelation really. But I kind of feel that someone's really not there, or they will very soon be there. However, this Ace of Swords just needs to be uprighted, and someone needs to decide whether to stay or go. I mean, this doesn't necessarily mean leaving a partner. This can just literally be the home that you live in, whether that be with a partner, on your own, or, you know, with your parents. So there's some doubt here as to the direction to take regarding someone's home situation. On the business front, I have got the Five of Wands in reverse here. This is clarified with insecurity and instinct and my Oak Man. Now, this is someone who doesn't really want to compete in a work situation. They may feel that there's an awful lot of competition around them. With my Oak Man, this is kind of looking into the heart of the matter. With age comes wisdom as well. So this may have been something that you've experienced before, and you're recognizing, you know, a repeating pattern, looking at why there's conflict, why there's competition. But I really feel that with insecurity here, someone doesn't feel able to compete with their colleagues or with a boss, whomever it may be. They really don't want to compete, or they don't feel able to compete because I think they're pretty tired. I kind of get the impression someone's a little bit on alert here, that things are not going well on the business front. They're not getting on with those around them, with their work colleagues. They may be sort of ostracized with my Lone Wolf Instinct card here, and sort of keeping to themselves. I mean, there's certainly no pleasure here, put it that way. I really feel that in the main, someone is actually considering leaving their current job and going it alone, maybe on a self-employed front. This may be someone, I do feel I'm reading for a male, but you can switch it, that's experience a lot of conflict in work situations. They may feel that they're just not someone who, you know, works well in group situations. They may be better off on their own. They can sort of work with the pack, but it's quite draining for them to, you know, that sort of groupthink and camaraderie is kind of not their thing. I do get a kind of, I mean, it is my Lone Wolf card, so I do get someone who is a natural loner and then probably does very well working on their own. and they do feel quite drained and exhausted, dealing with a lot of people and a lot of conflict, people competing. It might be a very competitive environment, might be a lot of targets that are, you know, involved in that sort of job, and you know, that some people will thrive in that situation and it really spurs them on, but I'm almost feeling that seems someone older who is just tired of it. It almost feels it's not infantile, but I just feel that they're someone who very much knows their own strengths and weaknesses, and this, where they are currently business wise, is not a strength. It's not something they enjoy doing. They don't want to compete with the kids anymore. They maybe just want to go off and do their own thing. They may be feeling insecure about that as well. This may be causing a lot of sleepless nights, because there's an enormous amount of deep thought involved here. But their instinct really is, I think, to go alone on the business front. With regards to relationships, a huge issue here. We have the Ten of Cups in reverse with guilty. Look, this Ten of Cups, I have to show it upright because it's an adorable card. You know, this is like really settled at home in front of the fire with the dog and the cat, glass of wine, music in the background. It's all very lovely, but it's not. It's in reverse. So someone's relationship is not currently in a good place. There's no coming together at home. There's no comfort. And someone's guilty, and that is actually at the root of the matter. I feel that a person I'm reading for now, the guilt could be coming from a third party situation, because I do have the adversity is the Three of Cups, so that kind of maybe put a nod to a third party, but it's not definite by any stretch of the imagination. I do think this person is someone who feels that they have to manage everything alone. They almost feel, they almost exaggerate their own beliefs that only they can do this, only they can achieve this. And it's caused you know, instability in their relationship, with Temperance in reverse here. It could be a Sagittarius in the mix. But this is someone who's not able to balance their work and their personal life. Almost, it's kind of all one or all the other at any given time. It's like they can't really bring them together. But in the main, the relationship situation, forgive me, isn't in a happy home cuddly stage at the moment. It's all very kind of up in the air, and there might be a little bit of impatience around this as well. This King of Swords is probably who I'm reading for in reverse. The King of Swords in reverse is someone who's not using their rational mind wisely. It can be quite cruel, very selfish, and in the main egotistical is what I'm getting with this archetype. As I say, they kind of feel that only they have the ability to succeed. So it's not someone who gels well with other individuals around them, because they do have an inflated sense of self-importance with the Six of Wands. So this can be victory, achievement, adulation, and it's all through work. This is all to do with work. So their work is incredibly important to them, or if I'm reading for you, incredibly important that you be recognised through the work that you do. It's a main driver, but it seems to come at the cost of a relationship. And I think that's where possibly the guilt has come in. So if it's not a third party situation, and it doesn't have to be, it's not, as I say, nailed on in any way. The main issue is the person themselves, is maybe their conditioning, I don't know, but they're not balanced. They don't seem to be able to balance. Their work life's not in a great place because they don't seem to be gelling with the people around them. Their relationships aren't in a brilliant place, and this doesn't need to be romantic. It can be other relationships in their life. They probably have very big highs and very low lows. But in the main, and it's also someone who takes on too much responsibility, but it's driven from a sense that, you know, they are very important and only they can do the job. And this is a bit of an odd one. This is a new spread I'm doing. It comes under fame and achievements. With fame, I would suggest it's something that someone is known for rather than, you know, the silver screen. And achievements, what have they achieved? Six of Pentacles in reverse. So there might be someone who's known to be selfish, not very charitable, not very generous, not very giving. That's very King of Swords in reverse. It's also with renewal in reverse and impartiality. I get a sort of sense of someone who's not contributing financially, maybe, you know, to a partnership the way they should be, or they're, you know, it could be with regards to their work situation. They might be known at work as somebody who just doesn't get involved, who doesn't share, who's pretty selfish really, and that doesn't seem to be anything that's likely to change in the near future. With impartiality, it can be a sort of mediator type card. I sort of get the feeling that it's someone who's just really not paid attention, who's been a bit easy-ozy with something that was probably quite important, but they've had their mind on other things. Which I know is contradicting the fact that I think they're all work and haven't contributed to the relationship, and now we're on a Pentacle card, which would suggest money. But I wonder if the real issue is why this relationship isn't currently in a successful situation, and why we're having issues at work is the actual grounding card might be there's a lack of money. Yeah, that someone is trying to, you know, get their finances back on an even keel. There may be funds that they were once in receipt of, but they're not now. They may have been denied a loan, or a loan extension, or a contract extension. And this is where, you know, this is causing them an issue. But this is what they're known for. And this, and I mean, it can hardly be classed as an achievement, the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So I'm taking this as something that they're known for. And they're now at a stage that very much communicate that they want something back from the past, whatever that may be. It may be their financial stability that they had in the past. It may be a sort of more equal give and take type personal relationship or work relationship. But this is someone who would who is known, or who would like to be known for getting things back on track, for going back and maybe doing it right. Maybe they made a mistake. Oh, I don't think there's any question about that. And in adversity, the adversity position is the Three of Cups. So it could be that they have had an extramarital affair, or I sort of feel that this is someone who just likes to indulge a great deal, who likes to party a lot, likes to drink, likes celebration, and maybe likes a lot of attention. And, you know, yeah. And there's guilt here again. The feline in reverse is about guilt. She actually says, whose idea was this anyway? This is sort of making a careful accounting of our guilty feelings, you know, trying to work out where they came from, making sure that the guilt is actually ours and it's not that people have made excessive demands on us. It's feeling very drained as well. It's almost like you running through your head all the, you know, shoulda, coulda, woulda, stuff that you should do that day, last week, last month, last year in that past relationship, and kind of beating yourself up over it. But it's also, yeah, so it's also kind of avoiding tasks that need attending to, not doing them, and then feeling really guilty about the fact you haven't done it. But because the Three of Cups is here, I do have mysticism and isolation in reverse. So I sort of feel that this is the adversity is maybe someone actually focusing on, you know, not going out and partying quite so much, not focusing on their own indulgence, whatever that may be for them. It is in the main partying, drinking, joyous celebrations. This is something that they could have been hiding from someone. It's or you know, in general, it's something that they partake of that they don't share, and then they feel guilty about it. So it's kind of like a real catch-22 here. I really want to do it. It makes me feel happy. I mean, it almost could be a distraction from more important issues in their life, that, you know, they feel that they can't handle. I've got intemperance here, or can't be fixed. And because they are kind of coming from this egotistical, you know, selfish viewpoint, it might just be a case of, you know, fuck it, drop it, I'm going out to play. And, you know, but then, you know, they wake up with a fear. And it's like, oh shit, done it again. You know, I've messed up, or, you know, I've overindulged, I've said what I shouldn't have done, I've had sex with people I shouldn't have had sex with, I've eaten like a pig and put 4 stone on, whatever it may be for this person. This feels like their issue, their adversity is their own overindulgence, and then the fact that they beat themselves up about it, because they obviously, to feel that guilt, they know that what they're doing they shouldn't be doing, basically. And next up we have acquisitions. This is a weird one. I'm just asking what Taurus has acquired in terms of knowledge or experience, and this looks pretty positive. So we have got the Devil in reverse with impasse in reverse. So this is freeing ourselves from addictions, basically. Hopefully this 3 of Cups, guilty energy. The Devil can be anything you feel bound to, feel restricted by. It can be drinks, drugs, sex, telly, overeating, overspending, gambling, anything we do too much of. The Devil's not far away, and seeing him in reverse is someone freeing themselves from this, and that's, you know, unblocking, you know, whatever's been previously blocked, having this Devil energy around. It is a real significant change, this, if this can be handled, because I've got Nellis the Alchemist in here, who's my female magician, and she unblocks everything. She comes in and waves her magic wand and changes everything up in a really positive way. This could be someone looking at, you know, why they do what they do, certainly on an emotional basis, with my fairies of the, you know, Tobias of the waters here. Tobias is about letting the emotion flow through you and not overwhelm you. It's serenity, it's grace, it's an acceptance of, you know, that which you can't change, and, you know, that which you can. But it's a self-realization of where a lot of your issues have come from, and you know, freeing yourself from them ultimately. Now I say that, but I do still have some issues up here with restrictions. We have the Ace of Wands in reverse and the 6 of Swords in reverse. So the Ace of Wands in reverse is, you know, it's lack of creativity, it's lack of action, it's impotence, whether it be sexual or not. It's just feeling that you've got no get up and go. You can't achieve what you want. You can't start what you want. You know, you may have some good ideas, but you're not able to bring them into being. And we do have the 6 of Swords in reverse here. So this is feeling very stuck by a situation, not being able to make the transition, not being able to move away. And I'm coming back to this home card. Should I stay or should I go? Being a little bit confused as to, you know, whether you're destined to be there, you're destined to move on. So this is still feeling very, very stuck. So I've asked specifically, why do you feel stuck? Why do you feel unable to move on? Because you've got the Sun here. Now, this could suggest you're dealing with a Leo and maybe a child. You may want to relocate, but you have children and, you know, they're really happy in their schools or something like that. Or it's just there's something to do with your happiness here, that you still think there is happiness to be had in the situation that, you know, you can't free yourself from. You just, you can't. I'm coming back to the Ace of Swords being sideways. So I've asked why you can't free yourself, and it's the 7 of Swords. So this is deceit. This is, you know, having to lie to get what you want. It's trying to get away with something on the fly. It's been very smug and greedy again. So it may be that somebody wants their cake and eat it here. So They're not, you know, there may be, as I come back to this Three of Cups, there may be someone else on the side here that they would like to move towards, but that would involve deception, or there's maybe children, and that's why they don't want to leave a situation. But ultimately, they seem not to want to have to lie about it. But there is confusion over this, whether to be upfront or whether not to be. But the Ace of Swords sideways and the Seven of Swords here. So I've asked what it is they don't want to, they're being deceitful about, and it's the Nine of Cups. So this is my overindulgence card. This is feasting, you know, parties, celebration, events, weddings, with the Knight of Swords in reverse. And this is really, Knight of Swords in reverse is super aggressive. It's just a straight up arsehole. There's no two ways about it. And yeah, this is what they are not sure whether to be honest about. This may be someone who, if they're not in a current relationship, but they've maybe met someone they very much like to be in a relationship with. So this is like, you know, the guy who just wants to have loads of options, lots of partners, lots of interactions, and doesn't want to settle down. So they're impotent in one direction where their happiness lies. But they're having real issues, maybe giving up this kind of behaviour, and that is ultimately what the restriction is. And in the comprehensive overview, I have got the Knight of Wands in reverse, who is basically my player with bells on. And this is somebody who's compelled to cheat, who's not, you know, quite happy to cheat if it means they get what they want. It's also someone who's very entitled. It's someone who uses strong arm tactics to get what they want. They lack morality. Yeah, I mean, as I say, it's basically the Four of Wands in reverse here. So either that, you know, they are living with someone, and ultimately this kind of behaviour is going to put paid to this home relationship. So it might not be for them to make this decision, should I stay or should I go. It would ultimately seem that this is going to be a broken home, or a broken marriage, and yet in some respects they still feel very committed to this soulmate that they're involved with. Yeah, cake and eat it, cake and eat it. I think that's really the bottom line. Ultimately somebody who is guilty for their actions after the fact, but then they do it again, so they're stuck. But you know, the real positive here is the fact that we have got the Devil in reverse. So you know, that may be someone who is coming more into Oakman mode, and you know, getting wiser with age and looking into the heart of the matter as to why there's, you know, so many conflicts around them, and why their home life isn't happy, why their relationships aren't happy, why they're known for being selfish, and maybe getting to the root of the matter and maybe making some changes. With it being the Four of Wands in reverse up here is the overview. I'm not sure if it's too late. I'm reading for a Frog in reverse. This is someone with an enormous amount of baggage who refuses to deal with it, basically. You know, it's very murky energy. It's filthy. It's somebody who lives in a bit of a shit pit, to be honest. So maybe they don't keep a clean house. Okay, Taurus, let's take your advice for mid-January to mid-February. Taurus advice. I'm going to be doing all my fixed signs. I just asked the cards who I should be reading for. So Aquarius is coming up next. Taurus, what advice do you have for Taurus for this situation? Not sure about them. Turn to Jesus. Taurus. Shift your perception. Yeah, I mean, they definitely do have strong feelings for someone, but I just don't think they're, you know, prepared or maybe able to give up player attitudes or player, whatever you call it, mentality. Ear guarding. No, they don't want to stop having too much fun. Okay, Air Guardian, here we go. When this card arises, it's an opportunity to learn about your way of thinking. You're being guided to recognize that not all you see is exactly the way you see it. Sometimes the mind can play games, and sometimes one's perceptions can be wrong. If you are being challenged or feel that there's a lack of clarity and direction in your life at the moment, there's a good chance the way you're thinking or what you're focusing on has a lot to do with that reality. You're being guided to open your eyes and your mind, go beyond any limits you have set for yourself, and recognize that the way you see the world is how you will experience it. Opportunities are moving in your direction, but they will only open up for you if you are ready to do the internal work to support them. Change the way you think and you change your whole reality. Lovely card to end on. So Taurus, that is your reading for mid-January to mid-February. I hope they find it useful. Please like, subscribe, make sure the bell button's filled in for future uploads. And if you would like a personal, all my information is below. In the meantime, I wish you all the best and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.